We've got tips and recipes for healthy living. So for fun and inspiration, come and join us in the raw food world.
Welcome everybody, this is Monarch with the Raw Food World TV show, and we are at the New York Expo, and we've got Paul Nison right here, and I want to talk to him about a few things. Paul's been a good friend of mine since the beginning of time here, and how's it going, Paul?
What's up?
What is up?
We're back in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brooklyn's in the house.
Yeehaw!
We're here at the Raw Food Expo in New York City. Me and Matt here are speaking this weekend. There's a lot of other vendors here. We're selling a lot of our books and just getting the word out about the raw food diet done the right way, because a lot of people out there are doing it the wrong way. Selling a lot of raw junk food that they're calling healthy, which it's not. We need to eat raw, ripe, fresh, organic food. And me and Matt learned something from Dr. Fred Bishy that a lot of people don't realize, and it's practicing temperance while eating. It's not overeating. Most of the people out there eating a raw diet are just eating so much and stuff in their faces, and then they get sick and they say the raw food diet didn't work for them. It's not the raw food diet that's not working for them, it's overeating that doesn't work for them. We have to stop overeating if we want to be healthy. That's the key. From eating emotionally and every other area of our life, we have to make sure we practice temperance. We also need to know when to eat. We shouldn't be eating when it's dark outside. We shouldn't be eating 10 meals a day. We should be eating 2 or 3 meals a day. Practice temperance while eating. Chew your food well. Mix it with your saliva in your mouth before you swallow it, and you'll be fine. But if you start worrying about everything else, if you're eating when you're stressed, if you're overeating, you're eating too much, too often, too late, you're going to end up getting off the raw diet saying it didn't work for you, and that's not the problem. So correct that, and I wrote a new book out called The Daylight Diet, which talks all about that. My last book, The Formula for Health, is based on Arnold Ehret's Formula for Life. And congratulations on your wedding, guys.
Thank you. Can I ask you a couple questions, Paul?
Maybe. Yeah.
I want to ask about the raw cacao. I know you're totally against that, and you know.
You think? First of all, I'm not against cacao. I'm against things that aren't healthy for the body. First of all, I can't confirm this, but I know at least several people that actually worked on cacao farms and told me there's no such thing as raw cacao. All I'm saying is they worked on the farm and I wasn't there, and I don't know many other people that were there. But even if there is raw cacao, bottom line, without a doubt, from the scientific standpoint, cacao is not healthy. Yes, it has a couple of positive things to it, but it has way more negatives. And if you weigh out the difference, you're ending up with a food that's not healthy. You want your antioxidants? Eat some blueberries. Eat some fresh fruits and vegetables. But why eat something that's packaged, toxic, has theobromine, which is a drug to the body, has extra caffeine, which is a stimulant to the body? Why would you eat these things? The reason why is because some charismatic person is telling people that it's healthy for them and making money off your bad health. I can't tell you how many people call me up and many other people on a raw food diet telling them they're getting sick from doing this. A lot of people do this and they say they're feeling great, but there's a big difference between stimulation and truly feeling great. We have to learn the difference between that.
Okay, so let's say like your mom is drinking coffee every single day, and she is willing to stop coffee and eat a little bit of cacao every day. What are your views on that? Is that an improvement and a good thing?
I don't believe in switching one poison for another or one toxin for another. If I wanted to get off coffee, I would tell her to get off coffee, and I would tell her to switch to something more natural, herbal teas or something without caffeine in it. Switching from one toxic thing to another is just eliminating one addiction for a new addiction.
All right. Hey Paul, I brought you a gift, some cacao bars and a cacao paste.
All right, it's almost midnight. I'm going to eat these at midnight, and you'll join me. We'll have some cacao. We'll overeat on it at midnight. And just kidding, don't go crazy. I'm not eating cacao. I would never eat cacao. And I never say never, but I'm saying never because I have in the past, and I know how bad it is for me and everyone else out there. And if you're eating it, you're being deceived. I care about everything that's unhealthy. There's many unhealthy things out there that people are doing, and there's many healthy things out there that people are doing. The only reason it seems like it's all about cacao with me is because that's the thing that people have attention about. But no, I talk about overeating, I talk about the time people eat, I talk about agave nectar, which is not as healthy as other natural sweeteners. I talk about overeating on too much fruit. I talk about eating things that are processed and in packages, cans, containers, and not truly raw, ripe, fresh, and organic. So I'm talking about all these things that aren't healthy, because health begins with what we eliminate from our diet, not what we add. And these are the things that aren't healthy. But people like to pull out, oh, well, Paul talks about cacao and not all these other things. Well, if you come to my lectures where I'll speak for hours about everything, trust me, you come to my lecture, you have about 1 or 2 minutes about cacao and about 2 hours of everything else that's good and not good for the body. Hey, so tell us, Matt, why do you think that something that's almost like a party drug isn't as bad as I say it is?
Okay, so for someone who is on a standard American diet, is eating refined sugar, coffee, processed starches, all these things, and they're willing to eliminate some of these things and add a little chocolate bar here and there, I think it'd be a very beneficial improvement to their diet.
Why not add a bar without chocolate in it? Wouldn't that just help accomplish the same thing?
Yeah, some people, like myself, can do something like that. They jump overnight, but some people can't emotionally handle it.
Why not do carob instead of cacao?
If that's what it does for them, but sometimes it doesn't.
Do you agree carob is less harmful than cacao?
Absolutely.
So why wouldn't you suggest that instead of cacao?
I think stimulation in moderate quantities every once in a while can be a good thing. People like to feel good. They don't want to always be in a massive detox.
All right, there you have it. That's what Matt Monarch believes, and everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But I, Paul Nison, do not think stimulation in any amount is good for us, and I think it just exhausts the adrenals, and it's not good for our bodies, and I personally think we should avoid it.
True that Arnold Ehret says, like, if you read, you did a book on his formula, isn't all food stimulation? It just matters what degree it's stimulation, and cacao is just a bit higher stimulation. An avocado is stimulating.
Food is stimulating to the body, but there are certain drugs in foods that are stimulating to the body to the degree where they exhaust the adrenal glands and the other hormones of the body. There's a difference between food stimulating the body or anything stimulating the body or the drugs that are stimulants inside the food. There's a tremendous difference. One is just a natural process of the human body, digestion. The other is a toxic drug that actually creates disease and continues to exhaust the body and the adrenals. They're not the same.
And coffee and refined sugar is more stimulating and probably more damaging to the body, in my opinion, compared to cacao. It all depends where you're at. For me, I'm a really clean guy. The cacaos be extremely stimulating. While someone on the standard American diet, the cacao is going to have no effect on them practically whatsoever.
From a diet standpoint, caffeine is stimulating to the body, whatever it's in. If it's green tea, if it's cacao, if it's in coffee. And the problem in the cacao, the problem is what's in the cacao. Theobromine and caffeine, and that's stimulating to the body, regardless where you get it from. If you get it from coffee, cacao, or anywhere, it's stimulating to the body, and it's best to get rid of it as soon as possible.
All right, coffee is large amounts of stimulation, and when you go to cacao, it's such a small, minuscule amount compared to the coffee that it's not going to affect you. It's actually an improvement and less stimulation, and it's a good way to wean off.
There's a big deception out there that cacao, if it's raw, or raw chocolate, if it's raw, is not toxic to the body, and it doesn't even have small amounts of caffeine. People say it doesn't have any caffeine if it's raw. That is absolutely not true from a scientific standpoint, and you can check with Rick Dina, who does a class on raw science. He confirms from a scientific standpoint, not just somebody's opinion, that there's a tremendous amount of caffeine, theobromine, in raw cacao or crack-cow or whatever you want to call it.
All right.
Round 2 is coming up tomorrow.
And now we need David in the mix.
We've got
Paul Nison here
with rawlife.com and Matt Monarch, and we'll see you tomorrow at the Raw Food World TV show.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again at the Raw Food World.
I know people that are on cacao that appear to be doing okay. I know people that are on cacao that definitely do not appear to be okay. I know people that eat a raw food diet that are thriving. I know people on a raw food diet that are very sick. I know people on a cooked food diet that thrive, and I know people on a cooked food diet that aren't doing too well. Same thing with animal products. There's many other factors other than just diet alone. And I think it's more important, without even looking at food, is to look at all those other factors, including diet, of course. But stress on the body is much more of an impact than just food alone. So, we have to focus on all these things, not worry about it, but, figure it out and continue experimenting with ourselves, see what works best, and then we could find out what's best for everyone.